Good morning, friends. Today is our bird unit again. If you haven't, they just finished lunch. The little eaglet is out there peeking out for mom, who's keeping them warm from the wind. It's really windy in
Yeah, you
Iowa.
can hear the wind.
So I'll turn down the volume so it's not too distracting.
I know.
Today we're going to talk about ornithologists. So we're watching the birds. We're going to take a little break about the traits of a bird because I wanted to make sure you had the tools you needed.
The baby's getting up.
I know.
I'm sorry,
We're gonna be
Mrs. Anderson. I'm distracted.
It's all good. We can look at it. So the tools you'll need. What do you think an ornithologist would need?
Ooh, good
So
question.
think about that. One is definitely outdoors, or you could watch through a window if you want. But if you go in your backyard and you're wanting to look at birds, what would you do? Definitely your eyes. But if you wanted to get a closer view of what they might be, because ornithologists like to name what it is they're looking at, not this, oh, there's a bird over there. There are some, Miss Lisa, excuse me.
You have a
Voice
frog.
went away. Miss Lisa and Miss Kathy are really good about knowing what birds are.
Miss Lisa's better than I am.
Yes, so
But
you
I do
have
love
to say,
it.
if you say, oh, if it's got a red front and a beak is short and the tail's, she could probably tell you. So you need sometimes a tool to help you look closer. So what would you use? Binoculars, if you said that. Now, I couldn't find my binoculars at home because I have them, but you could make yours, because sometimes if you focus your eyes on a certain thing, ooh, I see you, it will help. So I just used a paper towel tube and I cut it in half. This one's painted already, and you can glue them together. You can even glue a string on, and you can make your own binoculars. They won't work as well as real ones, but it still lets you focus on what you're looking at, and it keeps the other things away. Plus, it's fun. So you can make your own set of binoculars, or you can use some real ones. Oh, look, we have to look.
I know. I was distracted. I was like, the
There they
babies are
all
moving.
all three of them.
I'm going to come close. One of the babies looks sleepier. He's like
Yeah.
laying down. The other two are like
Their heads are
squiggly.
up. Look
They
at
want
how
to move
fuzzy
around.
they're feathered.
No,
They're
they're so
down on.
cute.
And as we start watching them now, you're going to see everything as they get bigger and bigger from eating.
They're squishing the little one.
They are. I wonder if I wonder if that was the last one born too. Because they have
Maybe.
3 of them. They all were not at the same time. There's the mama. You can see the beak and
Oh,
her
I wonder if
talons.
she's feeding him
Oh,
again.
look at that.
Oh, that's a piece of fish and it had a little bone in it.
And that's what they do. So cool. So keep an eye on it. Still fun to watch. It's one of my favorite things. All right, she's still feeding. So I'm going to read just this fun book called The Bird Watchers. Sometimes you learn to do some of these things by people in your family. And this is about a little girl and her granddad or grandpa. So Bird Watchers by Simon James. And here's actually, let's talk about other tools. We talked about binoculars. Other things is a journal to write with, because you draw the pictures of the birds, you write where you saw them, because if you go back to that spot again, maybe you'll see them again.
There's actually websites now, like they're tracking certain birds, like birds that migrate,
Yes, we were
like
talking
hummingbirds,
about that.
and you can put, I saw one here on this day at this time, and this is the
Cool.
kind it was, and then they put it in a map so that everybody in the state can see where the hummingbirds are.
Very cool. Definitely something to drink, because you'll be
yeah.
out there for a while. Do you think when you're watching birds, you're loud or you're very quiet? And still, probably not even loud of walking around, because think about what happens when you come up to a bird. What will they do? And if you want to really see them and watch what they do, you sit there and you're quiet and you're still. So yeah, so a bag for all your things, a pencil to write with, or colored pencils if you like to use color. So all those things to use. So when you sit out in your backyard and you're observing your birds, bring a journal, draw pictures. All right, the bird watchers. My granddad is a bird watcher. He tells me bird watching stories. He always says, Jess, when I go bird watching, things happen. Once my granddad said, Jess, when I make drawings of the birds, sometimes they make drawings of me too. So there's a picture of a bird with a journal. So they might be watching you while you're watching them. My granddad says, Jess, sometimes the birds help me when I can't find their names in my bird book. Another good thing to have handy is a bird book of all the different birds. So when you see one, you can flip through the pictures and see if that bird is in it, and then it'll give you the name. So he's showing the birds. And my granddad said, Jess, I got all the birds together one morning to record something called the Dawn Chorus, just for you. Look at all the birds. You'll definitely hear the birds and all the different sounds. Like today when I came to school, I heard a bird sound and I knew right away it was the doves because they have a particular sound. so you can learn what the birds, they all sound different.
And some of their names are based on their sounds.
It's cool.
Like chickadees.
Oh,
They're called chickadees because they say chickadee dee dee dee. So if you hear that, that's a chickadee.
I learned something new today. That's cool. My granddad said birds are amazing, Jess, but I wasn't sure. I had to find out for myself. So one day I decided to go bird watching with him. And when we got there, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't see anything at all. That would not be fun, to go do this and then not see anything. He's even looking with his binoculars. Granddad showed me how to use his binoculars. Everything was closer, but I couldn't see anything. Nothing happened. Wonder if she's still enjoying her time. I don't know. Then Granddad took me to the bird watching hut. Granddad opened the hatch and we looked out. It was amazing. So they're in this little hut, like a little house, and they open one window to look out in a certain space. And what do you think she saw? I'd never seen so many birds. Granddad said there were yellow warblers, green-necked ducks, herons, snipe, and western grebes. We made a lot of notes and loads of drawings. So why do you think they weren't out when they were outside? Probably because they're not sure. Now look at them all. Soon it was time to go, and on the way back, Granddad asked me what I liked best about my first day of bird watching. What do you think she liked the best? That's when I thought I'd tell him a bird watching story of my own. Granddad, I liked it best when the dancing penguins came and shared my sandwich. Did that happen? Dancing penguins, Jess, said Granddad. I must have been looking the other way. Oh, look what's following them.
Oh.
The end.
Aww.
So you can come up with your own stories, whether it's real or pretend, as you're bird watching and drawing your pictures and seeing what it is that you found. And find a good book. And we're going to end watching our eagles and eaglets. They're still eating.
Yeah, it's cute.
If you could, to see that is pretty amazing. That's why we watch it on video, because the cameras are there. There's no people. So that's why they're able to do this without being afraid. All right, friends, have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.